everyone, and welcome to class. Today is the last day of 2021, and we're going to watch this video. It's a very short video. It's just 6 minutes long, and we're going to be learning about what happened in 2021 regarding veganism. We're going to look at the highs and the lows, and stick with me. By the way, this channel is called The Plant-Based News. If you're interested in following them, go ahead and check them out. Let's watch.
Processed meat poses the same risk as smoking.
Everyone is buzzing about the Netflix documentary, What the Hell?
Okay, so they're going over all the different videos that they've done in the years past, and they're going up to this one here at the end of 2021.
This thing tastes like me. It smells like me.
Like it's the year we go mainstream.
The world is changing.
Vegan 2021.
January.
January, I'm doing. No meat or animal produce for Holman.
I can do that.
Yes, you could.
Now this year, a record 500,000 people pledged to eat only vegan food in January.
Very excited to be launching Veganuary here at Handpicked for the first time.
825 new vegan product and menu options.
825 new vegan items and products. Now, I think this is based in England, but hey, that's really great.
Adverts, menus, recipes, vegan food launches everywhere.
But eating more plants is one of the most powerful things we can do to help our planet.
Yes, eating more plants is one of the most powerful things that we can do to help the planet. Yes, great message.
One McPlant. Honestly, it's better than what you ever imagined.
McPlant, did you see that? McPlant, let me go back.
Food launches everywhere.
But eating more plants is one of the most powerful things we can do to help our planet.
You know, I was talking to McDonald's for the last couple of years, asking them to have more and more plants, and now they do have something called the McPlant. It's a start. It's not nearly enough, but keep going.
One McPlant. Honestly, it's better than what you ever imagined.
More people than ever chose to go vegan this January, making 2021 our biggest year yet.
Hi guys, it's Gordon.
Oh, first of all, KFC, they need to do a lot more too. And this guy, this is a piece of shit for a human. Gordon Ramsay, you guys know him? He's a chef. He's one of the most evil people on the planet. Because even though I've asked him, I played my ukulele very nicely over on TikTok and asked him, hey, can you please stop abusing animals? Stop paying for the rape, the torture, the confinement, the kidnapping, and the murder of innocent animals? Stop promoting this to your audience? Start to cook vegan foods? Did he do it? No. He made one or two vegan things because he has no imagination and no balls to change. He's afraid he's going to lose his audience. So he does this little token thing saying that he's going to become vegan, which is total bullshit. He never became vegan and nobody ever thought that he would.
I got a confession. I'm turning vegan.
He's so full of shit. It would be great if it was true, though. Because of his millions and millions of followers, they would then start to become more interested in eating plants and avoiding all of the harm that comes from eating meats, dairy, eggs. See that face? A lot of people think, oh, he's just cute. Look at the blonde hair and the blue eyes. No. That's the face of the devil. Someone who cares only about himself. Only about money, only about profits. I don't even want to tell you what I would do with him if I had him alone in a room. And no, it's nothing pretty.
I talked to the chef. The menu was plant-based this year.
I'm vegan, is that going to be a problem?
Novak Djokovic, Grand Slam champion. 19 of those were won on a plant-based diet.
Yes! Athletes who are vegan. Amazing. Lewis Hamilton urges 21.8 million followers, please stop eating meat. These are the kind of role models that we need. Not people like that Gordon Ramsay. Evil. These people are great. They care beyond themselves. They know they might lose some of their audience if they start telling them what to do. People don't like to be told what to do, right? But we need to do that. We need to change the world. We need a vegan world, and we need to help the animals to relieve their incredible suffering in Holocaust-like conditions here on this planet. Thank you, Lewis.
Netflix documentary that everyone is talking about. It's called Seaspiracy.
Great British Bake.
Seaspiracy is something that I've been convincing you guys, trying to convince you to watch for a long time now. Seaspiracy. Go and watch it. It's on Netflix. Seaspiracy will tell you what happens in the oceans. It's so vital that everybody knows that we need to stop eating fish. Stop putting the fishing nets in the waters. They are causing so much plastic pollution, and they are causing so much collateral damage. And shoes are starting to become vegan. That's great. Buy them. Ask for them. Go into stores and say, show me your vegan options. And most of the times the salesperson will be like, I don't know what you mean. And then they'll go and check, and there maybe is something. They just haven't been taught yet. Every time you go into a restaurant or any kind of a store, ask them, say, show me your vegan options. Tell me about your vegan options. Make sure the word is normalized. Vegan.
Welcomed its first vegan contestant this season.
New York City has elected its first ever vegan mayor.
Oh, that was so great. The first mayor ever elected to be vegan in New York City. The only thing that I would change is that I wish he would talk about the animals more. But you see, this is the strategy with these politicians. You know, they have to go easy. If they start telling everyone, hey, you guys should be vegan for the animals because we don't want them to suffer, everybody will be like, what? No, that's too hard. But if you start telling them, like this guy's doing, be vegan for your health. Let's veganize the hospitals. Let's veganize the schools. Let's make veganism the norm because it's good for you. Then everybody will be like, oh, it's good for me? Oh, okay then. Because this is how terrible humans are. It's a shame. Except for the tiny percentage of us vegans who actually give a shit beyond ourselves. We will actually suffer each day by not eating animals so that the animals won't have to be enslaved and tortured. And you know what? It's not really suffering. There are so many vegan options when you're shopping and you're going down the halls there, you know, you're checking stuff out. Veggies, fruits, nuts, and seeds in your shopping cart because peace begins on your plate. So open up your heart to the animals. Because they need us. Anyway, whatever way it works, you know, Mr. Mayor, you tell them to be vegan, whatever way works.
Las Vegas opens its first vegan culinary school.
Yes! Isn't that cool? Way to go, Vegas!
UK government officially declared that lobsters, crabs, and shrimp are indeed sentient.
No fucking kidding! Like, of course we've known. I've known since I was tiny. And the first time that I saw lobsters in a grocery store in some water with elastics around their claws, I knew from the time I was 3 that they were suffering. How can you not know? We're all born vegan. We know when animals are suffering, and we don't want them to suffer. We need to go back to our roots and become vegan again, the same way that we were born, all of us. Today is December 31st. It's a perfect day for you to declare that you're going to be vegan from now on. Come on, guys. You've been watching this channel for how long? A long time. You got to get the message into your head. You got to get the message into your heart. And you're at the perfect place to start, December 31st. Okay, if you happen to be watching this video and it's later on in January and you're like, oh, well, I missed it. Oh, well, no. That's not an excuse. You still can start because today is the first day of the rest of your life. This is a habit I picked up from my husband. This is what he does. It's so weird. Do you ever notice that? When you're with somebody for a long time and you start noticing you're picking up their habits. I never used to do this to make a point. When he's talking, it's like, da, 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 da. Anyway, I'm going to tell him after. Anyway, all right, let's keep watching.
This year, our leaders are deciding the global actions required in a critical decade for our planet.
Okay, this is Billie Eilish, the singer. I was a bit disappointed with her because I have seen her say that she made fun of vegans at one point. There were vegan animal rights activists who were speaking loudly on behalf of the animals and in your face, and she said, well, I'm not like one of those vegans. And I lost respect for her then. Because what is one of those vegans? You mean me? You mean the kind who actually gives a shit and is willing to speak out every single day, no matter no matter what it takes? Come on, Billie Eilish. Plus, I saw you riding horses, you know? Come on, that's not vegan. Anyway, millions of people love her, so if some of them are going to listen to her, that's great. But Billie Eilish, I need you to speak out more on behalf of the animals. I need you to stop riding horses, and I need you to talk every single day to your audience and tell them it's not okay. Not just like, oh, I'm vegan and, you know, maybe you guys should be too. No, 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 that's not good enough, Billie Eilish. You gotta tell them. You gotta grab them by the shoulders and say, be vegan now. The planet is suffering. The animals are suffering. Give it to them. And write more songs about veganism. How many songs do you have with the word vegan in it? Don't be a chicken shit. No offense to the chickens. Come on, Billie Eilish, step it up. Crank it up a notch.
COP26 has opened in Glasgow, Scotland.
It is crucial that these meetings in Glasgow have success.
It is crucial that the meetings in Glasgow have success, and they did not. It was such an embarrassment. It was so disappointing.
Let's not forget about the biggest destroyer of our planet.
The biggest destroyer of our planet?
Animal
agriculture. Animal agriculture. It's such an easy thing. All these high, what do you call them? These people who are elected, who go there and who sit there in these meetings and they talk about, well, yes, we have to reduce our carbon footprint, and yes, we have to reduce the amount of pollution everywhere in the world. But, you know, hey, let's order some steak, and let's order some chicken wings, and let's order some... Like, come on, guys, you're such a bunch of hypocrites. It's so easy. Start with what's on your plate. Each of the world leaders should be vegan. Every single world leader should be talking about having only plants on our plates. In hospitals, in schools, prisons, everywhere. Only plants. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics has clearly stated that you can be vegan regardless of your age, gender, religion, all of it. So it's a no-brainer. If you're not vegan, you're an animal abuser. All of you world leaders, shame on you for not getting your shit together and helping us.
Sure.
It was supposed to be the summit that would stop global warming, but now there's deep disappointment, fell far short of the urgent action that's needed.
I apologise for the way this process has unfolded.
Thank you for saying that. What an abomination. So disappointing how things turned out there. The United Nations Climate Change Meeting.
This is no longer a climate conference. This is now...
Exactly, all talk, no action.
A 2-week-long celebration of business as usual and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and the younger generation is not happy about it. They didn't create this mess, but they're stuck with it. That is why I am here on social media. I am 57 years old right now. I'm a grandmother. I ate meat, dairy, and eggs just like you did. I feel like shit about it, and I'm trying to change. Join me. Today is December 31st. Your New Year's resolution can be that you're not going to eat animals from now on. Okay, and I've said it before, okay? This doesn't mean that you have to throw everything out in your house. If you have leather shoes, it doesn't mean you have to walk barefoot tomorrow. Okay, but it just means that going forward, you're not going to buy one single block of cheese again. No meat. No dairy, no eggs. Going forward. Declare it. Make a public statement, because then you'll stick to it, because then people will be watching you and go, excuse me? Didn't you do that New Year's resolution thing that vegan teacher suggested? Yeah, so why are you eating that? And then you'll be like, oh shit. And then you'll stop. Because society, your family, your friends will hold you accountable. Declare it. Put your hand up and say, I promise to be vegan from now on. To stop hurting animals. To stop buying them. To stop using them as objects. Adopt. Don't shop. Don't breed animals. Don't go to SeaWorld and places like that where they abuse them. And every day in my comment section, somebody's saying, oh, I went to SeaWorld and they look like they're treated fine. No, they're not. Have you ever seen an aerial view of SeaWorld? The pool is this big that they're in, and the parking lot is this big surrounding it. Whales need this much space. We truly are a cancer on this planet. We humans are a virus on this planet. We need to change. We need to go back to our roots. We were born vegan. We never wanted to hurt animals to begin with. We need to go back to that place.
really is getting very close to the last possible chance.
More than 100 people, 120 people have died, and hundreds more are still missing after the worst flooding in parts of Western Europe for several decades.
Nearly one half of the country, from the Pacific coast to the Great Plains and the upper Midwest, is experiencing moderate to exceptional drought conditions.
Let me just state unequivocally.
Look at that. Meat accounts for nearly 60% of all greenhouse gases from food production. The study finds that 60% of all greenhouse gases. I don't know if you can see this picture. It's very kind of dark right now, but what we're looking at is animals. No trees around, no grass, all crammed together. I believe that we're looking at cows, and this is how they live. There is no life. They need freedom. They need grass. They need to roll around and look at a tree. This is just horrible. This is torture for them. In the hot sun like that, treated as commodities. Animals are sentient beings. They deserve freedom and they deserve to be loved. And at the very least, they deserve not to be murdered just for our taste buds. Here's our taste buds on our tongue. We kill for our taste buds. Would you kill just for your eyes to be able to see the pleasure of an animal suffering? If somebody did that, you would think they were nuts. If somebody killed animals just because they wanted the pleasure of hearing their screams, you would think that they were insane. Eyes are here. Ears are here. Mouth is here. What is the fucking difference? Leave animals the fuck alone.
Unequivocally, guys, it's really bad.
Millions of people are dealing with scorching temperatures as a deadly heat wave continues to grip parts of North America.
Warning in place from the Met Office for torrential downpours.
Deluge of rain, flash flooding. From now on, every day, somewhere in the world,
every day, somewhere in the world,
we will have an extreme weather.
We will have an extreme weather
event, unprecedented weather event like we never had before.
There are climate deniers everywhere, and I'm not claiming to be a scientist. I'm speaking on behalf of the animals, and I don't care how you become vegan. I don't care why you become vegan at this point, but you must become vegan to start. Start there. Now, look, long term, of course I do care. I want everyone to be vegan for the right reason, which is for the animals, because I want us as a society to be kinder to one another. And that includes the sentient beings that are animals. You know, for a lot of people say, well, I'm vegan for the environment or for health. And, you know, really, at this point, I don't really care how you start. Just start. But the end goal has to be for us to realize that we have no right to enslave anyone. We just don't. We have to have a society that puts ourselves in the position of someone else. If we wouldn't want it done to us, don't do it to others. If you want to know if something is humane or not, ask yourself if you would want it done to you. And if you wouldn't want it done to you, then the answer is simple. Don't do it. Just don't. Don't stab animals in the neck or pay anyone to do it.
Surrounding the images that you're showing your viewers, we're declaring a state of emergency for New York City. I've just made that decision.
Campaigners are urging the UK government to ban fur imports from China after footage shows widespread animal abuse and disregard for health protocols.
But if we banned fur farms in the UK...
This is absolutely horrific how they treat animals for fur trim. And many people have fur trim coats, Canada Goose, Rudsack, all these different brands. Be careful, never buy real fur. If you have real fur on your coat right now, zip it off or take your scissors and cut it off. Do not go around to promote this. These animals are in these tight cages for their entire lives. And then they are murdered by being anally electrocuted. A prod is shoved up their ass with electric current so bad that it murders them. How fucking wrong is that? Shame on you, all you women and you men who walk your dogs alongside of me wearing a dead coat. Where is my trigger warning for this society? People always want trigger warnings before they see something. I walk outside and I see dead dogs around people's coats. And inside the coats, feathers plucked from innocent ducks and geese. We have no right to point at an animal and say, your body belongs to me. That is wrong.
Hey, with the last one closing, in 2003?
Look at them. Look, everyone understands putting a dog in a pen for a little while. We crate train animals because we think in the end it is best for them. They learn how to have a little bit of independence and they learn how to be safe in their cave. Okay, we're not talking about that. These animals are there for life. They never get to run. They never get to play with each other. And they are bred to have so much fur. That's not how they normally were. We did that to them by raping them, stealing their sperm, forcing them to be pregnant with different animals who have the same characteristics that we as a society want. We are fucked up. It is cruel beyond measure. We need a vegan world. And it is going to be 2022 in a few hours. What time is it? Right now it's 6:35 when I'm filming this. Okay? 5.5 hours from now. It's going to be 2022. You can be vegan from now on.
Then is it really right that we're offsourcing our
Look at them by the thousands.
Farming to third countries?
Just despicable. This is what they do in China. I've also seen video footage that had me crying my eyes out where they were skinning these dogs alive and they actually burned them to eat them alive in just by grabbing them by the neck and throwing them into hot water, boiling hot water. And you know, I hate to say it and to single it out to China because I don't want people to hate all the Chinese people. There are some Chinese people in there who are fighting against this, who are just as horrified as I am, who are crying, who have nightmares because this goes on. So it is not all of them. We do the same thing here in Canada, not to dogs in this way, but to all kinds of other animals. It is despicable. How many McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chickens are there around? Every time you go by one, I want you to give them the middle finger. Every time you walk by one, say, where are your vegan options? How come you don't have enough vegan options here? I want to see the manager. That's what you say. I know what you're thinking. Okay, because that stupid joke that goes around about the Karen who wants to see the manager. Well, you know what? Some people on this earth need to speak to the managers. They need to go to the CEOs. They need to go to the presidents, and they need to tell them and make them feel guilty for producing these products. That is necessary in a democratic world for the people who are the ones who care the most to speak up to the others and say, fuck you, we need a change. But you can do it every single day with your own money. So I don't want you to be thinking to yourself, well, I'm just one person. What can I do? Oh, well. And letting yourself off the hook. No. The only way that real change ever happened in this world was because of 1 or 2 or 3 people who got together and said, let's change things. That's how change happens. That's how come so many of you have become vegan, because I started just one person here on this channel. And then because of that, you guys started. And then because of you, other people started. And more and more and more, we are opening people's eyes to the reality that we need a vegan world and we can have a vegan world. And that in our hearts, we are compassionate. We just need to go back to that. If you wouldn't want to be in a cage and you wouldn't want somebody to grab you by the neck and shove a prod up your anus and electrocute you, and if you wouldn't want that done to a family member or your own dog or cat, then don't do it to others. And even if you say, I'm not buying a fur coat myself, so I'm okay, it's not good enough. You have to speak out against those who are doing the harm. Just like when they were taking the Jews away, the Nazis were, it's not good enough that you say, well, I'm not hurting the Jews. That's not good enough. You have to speak out and say, we as a society are not going to hurt the Jews or the black people or the LGBTQ community or the animals here. All of us have a duty, an absolute responsibility as a bare minimum to speak out when you see harm. Imagine you're the victim and act accordingly.
Well, we need policy set in place. I mean, we have no policy, we have no restrictions in fashion.
You know, once you know that kind of thing and you see it, it's really hard to go back.
It's probably the closest material that we've seen that can really kind of replicate the luxurious feel of leather.
The idea behind something like Milo leather is to take this and turn it into a product that looks, feels, and frankly, smells a lot like regular leather.
Isn't that cool? Leather that's made out of plants. Yes!
Replacing your hamburger and steak with a salad might give you some added protection against COVID-19.
Those 73% less likely to get severely ill from coronavirus. Huh? Do it! Be vegan!
Who follow plant-based diets are less likely to develop severe COVID when compared to meat eaters.
Where Oatly goes, oat milk takes
Are
over.
we really going with that milk and cancer? Is that the...
Yes. Yes! Finally, people are talking about the link between milk and cancer. Don't drink cow's milk.
10%.
Really?
Milk is awful.
The economy
Milk is awful. Say it
This
louder for
magazine-
the people at the back. Milk is awful.
predicted that by 2040, 60% of the meat market will be made up of alternative protein.
Today, it seems like, they're just lining up at the door, wanting to throw
What is this? Oh yes, more and more investment
money
in
at
plant-based products.
plant-based businesses because I think people are beginning to see that this is the future.
And Plant X, it's the first market of its kind.
Venus Williams invests in new plant-based marketplace. Yes! Go Venus! Go Venus!
And it's long overdue.
There's a world where we can safeguard the climate without endangering the recipes that we've loved.
Cultivated meat. Yes. This is going to really help.
Or changing the way that people eat.
This could be the ranch of the future.
We're going real meat.
This is the ranch of the future. Now look, obviously in an ideal world, I think we shouldn't even have this at all. We don't need to have fake meats or cultivated meats. We just need to stop eating animals and just eat all of the other thousands of things out there. But because of people like you, some of you watching, who think they need meat, they need something that looks like meat on their plate because they're too weak, too cowardly, too out of control to just learn and become vegans with just eating legumes, like all of the things I've listed. This is the next best thing. Cultivated meats, where no animals have to die.
Using animal cells, but not having to raise and slaughter animals.
Look at that. Doesn't that look like real meat?
It's the most clever thing I've ever seen in my 45 years of being in the kitchen.
The most clever thing I've ever seen in my 45 years of being in the kitchen. And guess who's talking? It's not that asshole Gordon Ramsay. It's somebody who actually cares.
And saw it, I was really amazed and surprised by the texture and the structure. It was really a game changer.
See that? Looks like real meat.
This chicken is not dead.
This chicken is not dead. Yes.
What you mean, man?
The $1 trillion
Doesn't that look like real meat?
industry with $1 trillion.
USDA invests $10 million in cultivated meat.
Problem.
I think it's going to revolutionize our world.
Our innovation can bring forth the next agriculture.
I do think all rich countries should move to 100% synthetic beef.
Cultural revolution, and it has never been closer to reality.
To be continued in 2022. You know what to do. See below the bell? See below, first of all, before we go to the bell, subscribe. Do you see the subscribe button? Press the subscribe button. Beside it is the notification bell. Help me and all of the other animal defenders to get these animals out of hell. Coming up on screen are going to be a bunch of other videos. Click on them. Be curious. Look around that Vegan Teacher's site. There are so many things to look for. And I look forward to seeing you in 2022 as a brand new vegan. Hands up. Repeat after me. I promise from now on to be as vegan as possible because I'm a good person and I know I was born vegan and I want to return. Thank you all, everybody. Give yourselves a big hug. I know you're trying hard. Come on. Big squeeze. And when I say I want you to love yourself and give yourself a hug, I'm not talking about those fake selfies where you're like posing all sexy like, okay, like fuck that, okay? I'm talking about a real, genuine, go into the bathroom when you see yourself in the mirror and really look yourself in the eye and say, hey, you're doing good. Today you bought oat milk. And you're gonna say, hey, you're doing good. You didn't buy any meat today. And you're gonna say to yourself, hey, today I bought some shoes and I made sure they were vegan. I ordered them online. Okay, these are the kind of things that I want you to do. And then you give yourself a hug for trying your best. Okay? I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now, guys. Love you.